I'm thrilled to be talking to celebrity chef Rocco Dispirito. He's the author of 15 best-selling cookbooks. He's the recipient of the James Beard Award. And now he's brought his culinary talents to Southampton with his new restaurant, Il Pellicano.
Hey,
Hi,
how are you doing?
Good.
Nice to
It's
see
so
you.
great to see you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming by.
This is beautiful. So tell me, what brought you to the Hamptons?
You got the number of cookbooks right, by the way.
Did I get it right?
Yeah. That's great. That's great. So what brings me to the Hamptons? Same thing brings everybody to the Hamptons. The beautiful weather, the ocean, the trees, the peace, the air. I've been coming out here for over 20 years. So happy to be here with the restaurant this summer.
You're in the Hamptons, and I would imagine your menu reflects being out here. How did you design this menu?
Interesting question, because I wanted to do something Italian-inspired, but not necessarily authentic Italian, because we're not in Italy, so you can't do authentic Italian. You have to work with the ingredients that are available to you local. So, turns out through the magic of Haskell Seafood and Gosman's and other people who are working locally out here, I have local tuna, I have local shrimp, I have local lobsters. So I call it, coastal Italian meets coastal Hamptons.
Which is really lovely. These dishes look great. Can you tell me what we have here?
Yeah, sure. So this is my Italian BLT, burrata, lettuce, and tomato salad.
Oh, wow.
This is my wild bluefin Italian deli style, and this is my paccheri pesto rosso, one of my favorite pastas in the whole world.
And do you have a personal favorite dish? Like if I come here, what should I order?
This is it. The paccheri pesto rosso. It's made with local shrimp and local tomatoes.
And so let's talk pasta, because this is really a specialty of yours. Is there a secret that you can tell home cooks like me how to make a perfect pasta just like yours?
Yes, there are a couple of, they're not secrets, but I don't think people know these tricks too well. You have to buy good pasta. It's important to spend money on what we call gragnato or gragnata pasta. This is pasta that's made with water from a town in Italy called Gragnata. And durum semolina, a very high quality wheat, and the pasta matters. And then you have to undercook it and finish cooking it in the marriage, what we call the marriage, in a pan or in a bowl with the sauce. And you have to let the sauce and the pasta hang out. They have to hang out for several minutes. If you don't do that, there won't be a marriage, and you'll see that there'll be a lot of liquid at the bottom of the bowl and little bits of solids stuck to the pasta. You don't want that. You want a condiment that's completely enrobing the pasta.
So when you're making a pasta like this, is this a homemade pasta?
No, this is a dry pasta. It's pasta asciutto, means dried pasta, and it is something you can buy. So I use Di Martino and Risticella di Abruzzo. Those are my favorite brands. And
so tell me a little bit about this dish.
So this is wild bluefin from Montauk waters. It's Italian deli style. So it's all my favorite ingredients from an Italian deli sandwich. Yeah, so pepperoncino and capers and red peppers and lemon juice and olive oil on top of raw bluefin tuna. And
you like to mix a lot of flavors. I heard you say there are 4 things that you like to do?
Yeah, you know about that, huh?
I do.
4 flavors: sour, salt, sweet, bitter. Everyone experiences all the food in the world through the lens of those 4 flavors. So a chef's job is to make those four flavors interesting. So create some tension and resolution in those 4 flavors.
You have your own take on the BLT, which looks nothing like what we're used to.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun to have, a burrata salad. I wanted to make it a little bit different, but not too different, because burrata is kind of perfect the way it is. So I thought burrata, lettuce, and tomato sounds fun. Plus, it gives me the acronym to use on the menu.
What's really interesting is that you are actually here cooking every night.
Right. Yes.
So tell me about that experience.
So I didn't want to do a restaurant in the Hamptons unless I could be here actually cooking, supervising, creating the menu, which is what I'm doing here, literally here every night, probably with a few exceptions, but basically on the line cooking with my team and supervising and tasting and making sure the food is good. I'm here and committed to put in the time it takes to do fresh seafood. So we're going to do a lot of Crudo raw bar. And yeah, I'm here. Come say hi. If you come in, come say hi.
So you're coming out and you're talking to people, which is a great reason to come here.
Yeah, for the people who can stand it, I come out and talk to them. Most of them say, go back and cook. But I'm happy to hang out with customers. I fell in love with the people part of this business at 11. It's the thing I've always loved, and it's the thing I love to this day.
Now, I noticed the menu has lots of seafood and summer favorites. What do you start with? Do you start with an ingredient? Do you start with an idea?
Good question. Yeah, you start with, I guess, a bit of a concept. And there are menus that are concept-driven, and then there are menus that are fully creative exercises. In this case, Italian was important to everybody, so we start with the parameters of Italian-ish. And then I thought Hamptons also plays an important role because there's a lot of great local stuff. So the fusion of those two things was the concept, and then I built it out from that.
You have sweets on the menu as well?
Yeah, I have a couple of
Dessert?
sweets that we throw together. We don't have a pastry chef right now. If you know of anyone, let me know. We don't have a pastry chef just yet, so I did one of my favorite Basque cheesecakes and a chocolate gianduja cake that I've been serving since the 90s. Yeah.
It's really exciting, and I want to taste the food. So
Okay,
where
feel
should we
free.
start?
I would start with
the
with
pasta?
this. Yeah, this
Okay, let's
pasta
start with
is
the pasta.
Definitely my favorite, and
Okay.
I think a really great example of bright summer flavors.
I know you're not
and
supposed to
local
cut pasta, but
no,
here
sure
we
you
are.
Yeah, who said no?
Here we
It's
go.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Have a shrimp, a little bit of shrimp, a little.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to
When
taste
you, when you
everything.
eat pasta, you have to mix everything together, and
Now the
make sure-
tomato's delicious.
Tomatoes are almost local. They are
There, I think I have
somewhat
everything.
local right now. They'll be fully local soon. They are a mix of Roma cherries and heirloom beefsteaks
That's
from
delicious.
some of my favorite farms. Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
really good.
thank you.
Okay,
Glad
what's
you like
next?
it.
Where should we go next?
I would try the shrimp dish. I think the shrimp crudo is
Okay.
really emblematic of what would happen in Italy with this ingredient and how I envision it through the lens of.
I think I'm going to have to just eat the
Hamptons.
whole thing.
Yeah, that's
And then
fine.
put the tomato on? Is
No,
that tomato or
that's a
pepper?
chili. So
Oh, that's a chili.
be careful.
Okay.
That's a Calabrian chili. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Mmm.
Isn't that a
That's
great shrimp?
delicious.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you so much. Thank you.
There's like a lemon.
Yeah, there's lemon, Thai basil, Calabrian chili. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is delicious. Look
So,
how beautiful that
If you
is.
see some weird vegetables in our crude today, it's because that's what's happening in the farm stand right now. What are you going to taste first? A little peppers? Great.
I'm going to do, is this a pickle?
The crazy cucumber? No,
Crazy
that's
cucumber,
that's a
okay.
Japanese cucumber.
That's so fresh.
Yeah.
It's really delicious.
This is the bluefin tuna crudo, Italian deli style.
Okay.
So it's some of my favorite.
This is one of my favorite dishes.
Tuna?
I love
Oh, okay,
tuna,
great.
yes.
Yeah. So it's tuna with fried capers and peppers and lemon and so just some
That's
ingredients
amazing.
to pop the flavor. Yeah.
Now, for a lot of us are home cooks like me, so I have to get your tips since I'm here.
Sure, no problem.
What is your secret to the crudo?
So important parts about crudo is that the fish be fresh, really fresh. If you don't have fresh fish, don't make a crudo. Cook it, and then to know how much to dress it and season it. Seasoning with salt is very important. A lot of people overlook the salt and pepper part of things. Those are the basic ingredients that we talk about all the time, but many people overlook. I'm not sure why. I think they think you can season it on the table, but each piece of fish has to be seasoned with salt and pepper for the
Really?
flavor to really pop. Yeah.
And then how long do you leave it in the citrus?
This one is immediate. Some of them are a little longer, but these two are both immediate.
Immediate.
Some of them are marinated for an hour, 2 hours overnight.
Does it taste different if you leave it too long?
Definitely, yeah. The more you leave it in the acidic, whatever the acidic quality is, or the acidic element, it will chemically cook the fish. So it'll be less of a raw fish and more of a cooked fish.
Gotcha.
So more of a ceviche than a crudo.
So I'm excited for this.
Linguine Vongole. So I think the important part of linguine vongole is the clams, of course.
Right.
Second most important thing is garlic. I use 3 kinds of fresh clams in this dish.
This is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Everybody
Thank
has
you,
to
thank
order
you,
this.
thank
This
you.
is insane.
I use chowder clams for the clam meat. I use cherry stone clams for the juice, and little cockles or manila clams for the presentation. And you have to make sure you cook the pasta in the clam liquid. They have to be reduced together. The pasta has to absorb a lot of it for it to taste like clams.
The garlic really comes out, but it's not too
It's
overpowering.
not jarring, right?
Yeah, it's delicious. So tell me about this burrata, because there are different types of burrata that you can
So
get.
burrata is essentially mozzarella with a creamy filling. That's always what it is. They call it burrata because it's a little buttery. So sometimes the cream has straccia in it, which is the little thread-like remnants of mozzarella making. When you make fresh mozzarella, there are these little filaments that end up in the water. So those are collected and mixed with cream and then filled,
Delicious.
surrounded by fresh mozzarella. It goes deep. There's layers of salad here. There's the little jam. There's these beautiful tomatoes. There's a fresh tomato puree at the bottom. There's a red wine vinaigrette. There's aged balsamic on top.
And you can really taste every flavor, which is interesting.
Oh, good.
Because it's nice to be able to eat food where every flavor is coming through, and I'm really tasting it.
You don't know it, but that's a very high compliment. that's when you respect the ingredients, you allow the ingredients to speak for themselves, and you don't muddle them with too many ingredients or too much process.
I'm always fascinated to know what chefs have in their refrigerator.
You would find Parmigiano Reggiano, lots of that, butter, lots of that, lots of water, lots of cold water. Federale is my favorite. Let's see.
The butter is salted or unsalted?
It's unsalted.
Okay.
There'd be some Guinness, non-alcoholic Guinness in my fridge right now. Lots of jams and jellies from Bon Maman, that cute little French brand. There's always going to be some sort of chicken leg or thigh or something like that. I cook for my dogs sometimes too, so it's for them and for me. And yogurt, lots of Greek yogurt.
So if people come over, which they just kind of pop in sometimes, is there anything you just throw together?
In the Hamptons, I think a tomato and basil salad is something you can throw together pretty easily.
Idea.
Almost everybody has basil growing, and almost everybody has tomatoes growing. So usually if you didn't go to the store, there's usually something in the garden that you can throw together. You just need a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil.
What has been your favorite part about creating a restaurant in the Hamptons?
Yeah, so it's a little bit like going to camp as an adult, because all my friends come here and I get to entertain in this beautiful patio and in the dining room, and we have a lounge here called Bijou. So friends get to come have fun. I get to cook for them, which is my favorite thing to do.
Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's dig in and keep
Thank
eating.
you. Sure.